In today's video, we are covering the time-honored question, ABO versus CBO. Which one is better? And if you're sitting there, think to yourself, I don't even know what CBO and ABO are. Well, definitely stay tuned because I can promise you these are impacting your campaigns. What's up, everybody? Alvaro here from Alvaro Barrios Digital, and today we are talking about which campaign budget setting is actually the best for you, CBO or ABO. Now, let me first and foremost break those down in case those are new terms to you. CBO stands for campaign budget optimization, and then ABO stands for ad set budget optimization. Now, at this point in time, as of November of 2022, they actually have changed, Meta that is, the name of CBO. It used to be called Campaign Budget Optimization. Now it's called Advantage Campaign Budget Plus, which is a really clunky, goofy name. So I don't address it by that. I still call it the old name of CBO because it's faster and easier, and I think also just makes a lot more sense. So I'm going to ignore the new name, but just know that when you look in your accounts, be on the lookout for Advantage Campaign Budget Plus as opposed to Campaign Budget Optimization. But all right. So the wording aside, what actually is the nitty gritty of these two factors? So if you are using CBO, campaign budget optimization, it means you are actually setting the budget at the campaign level. Remember, there's 3 tiers to any campaign. There's your campaign level, ad set level, and then ad level. So here, in this case, you are setting the budget at the campaign level, the very, very top, which means if you have a budget of $100 a day and you're using CBO and you have 4 different ad sets, ideally going to 4 different audiences, that means the campaign is going to take that $100 and the algorithm is going to distribute it among the 4 ad sets any way it sees fit, right? So it might give $75 to one ad set and then distribute the remaining $25 to the other 3. It might do a little bit more of an even distribution of, like, maybe one gets 30, another one gets 20, another one gets 25, so on and so forth. Or it just might be where 2 ad sets get all the budget and the other 2 are getting 0, right? It's really up to the algorithm. You're giving the algorithm full control to distribute those $100 a day any way it sees fit between those 4 ad sets. So that's CBO. ABO is where you set the budget at the ad set level. So remember, campaign, ad set, ad level are the 3 tiers. Here you're sitting at the ad set level, so the audience level, where you choose your targeting options, your demographics, all that kind of stuff. You can set the budget at that level. So if you have 4 different audiences and you want to spend $100 a day, you can set it so that each one evenly spends $25 a day. Or if you already know that your one audience is better than another, right, you can give that one $35 a day and then adjust the other ones. It's totally up to you. So in this case, you have full control in terms of which audience and which ad sets is getting how much money on a daily basis. All right, so now that we have the definitions and styles set apart for these 2 options, which one's better, right? This is often confusing. Well, the default from Facebook when you create a new campaign is the CBO option. And I can tell you that's usually not the best option. And I'll get into what I mean by that. But it's also not surprising that it's the default option. A couple of years ago, Facebook actually was saying that the only option moving forward was going to be CBO. They were actually planning on sunsetting ABO, getting rid of it, and having CBO being the only option available in town. Now, tons of advertisers, including myself, were very, very much against that, and we were very vocal. And thankfully, Facebook actually backed away from that option. So you still have the options of either CBO or ABO. And the reason we were so vocal about it and weren't happy or excited about the fact that CBO was going to be the only option is that usually it just doesn't get as good of results. Not always, but I would say at least 90% of the time, it doesn't get as good results. And on top of that, it never actually did, or even still does, what Facebook always says it should be doing, right? So Facebook always says that CBO is the most efficient option because it's going to automatically push budgets to your best performing audiences. But I can tell you from using CBO many, many times, it's very frequent where it doesn't do that, right? I always see it pushing budget towards lesser performing audiences, and it's just very confusing. I'm just like, why you're doing that? There's a much better audience over here and you're not pushing any money towards that. Now, there is a way to mitigate that now. This didn't exist before, but when you are using CBO, you actually can set minimums and maximums for each and every single ad set. So if you do want in a specific ad set to get more budget, and again, let's just say you have 4 ad sets, you're spending $100 a day, and there's this one ad set that you know is better and should be getting at least $40 a day, you can go inside the ad set settings and say, hey, this ad set should be getting at least $40 a day, or you can do a maximum as well if that's what you want to do. So there is a little bit of control now to mitigate this issue with CBO. But at the end of the day, it's still not doing what Facebook says it should be doing, and it's not optimizing for the best results, or so it seems. So I get better results with ABO 90% of the time. Sometimes I will get better results with CBO, and also CBO is a good option if you're combating against really high CPMs. I have seen CBO help you lower CPM, so that could be another factor where CBO has an advantage. But like I said, for the most part, at least 90% of the time, I'm really sticking to ABO because I can always control the spend myself, push the money towards the best performing audiences, shut off the losers, and you really get the best results that way. Now, there is one instance where CBO, maybe even if it's not going to get you the best results, it still might be the best solution. And that's when you're spending tons of money. And I'm talking about tens of thousands of dollars a month, 30, 40, 50, 80, $100,000, whatever it might be. And you're also running ads to a bunch of different audiences. In those cases, while CBO maybe still won't be the best option in terms of results, it's definitely going to be your best option in terms of practicality. Because again, let's just say you're spending $100,000 in a month and you're running ads to 30 different audiences with those $100,000. That's a lot of individual budgets there that you're going to be managing to hit that $100,000 across 30 different audiences. It could even be 50 different audiences. Who knows, right? And so in order to make your life a little bit easier and more practical, you can just select CBO and it's going to distribute the $100,000 any way it sees fit among those 30 to 50 audiences or whatever that is. So I do that in some cases, only though if I still see similar results with CBO. At the end of the day, if I'm just seeing terrible results with CBO, even if it's a little bit more practical and efficient when I have these high budgets that I'm managing, I only choose CBO if I get similar results. So maybe if I have a cost per lead that's traditionally $3 with ABO and with CBO I'm getting $3.50, well then I'm okay using CBO at those very high spend levels because I know it's only going to be a slight difference from what I would be getting at the ABO level. So hopefully this video makes sense, and now you can move forward and choose the right option in terms of your specific conditions that you are dealing with. But if you have any questions about either ABO or CBO, as always, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for tuning in. Here's another video I would love for you to check out, and I will see you next time.